Hello everybody, welcome back to my monthly music find series where I talk about all the albums that I picked up the previous month. Obviously, I'm going to be going over the month of May. Lots of stuff here, some new records, some dollar finds, some a couple of reissues that I picked up, and just some cool stuff from a record dig that I did over the weekend. So let me just jump right into it here. I'll start with some new records. This is an EP, a 10-inch by one of my favorite groups called Camp. This is their EP called Somewhere. It is just 4 tracks on a single side, which is kind of cool. There's a cool etching there. If I can get this thing back into the sleeve. Camp, they're out of, I believe, Columbus, Ohio. My buddy Alex at Beer and Vinyl can correct me. I believe it's Columbus. Kind of a soft Americana band. Just really good stuff. They probably are about my age in terms of the members, and this is just 4 tracks that they released on EP. Next, I picked this up. This took a long time to get into me, but this is entrance music by Okonski, piano-based instrumental jazz off of the Karma Chief, the Coal Mine Records record label. Really, really pretty instrumental jazz music. Look at that beautiful vinyl. This is, just a really pretty piece of music. It's their second record. I have the first as well. And if you like, that kind of soft early morning jazz, it's not going to offend anybody. Check out Okonski. It's really, really good stuff. Now on Karma Chief, I've talked about this album a couple different times. This is M. Ross Perkins. What's the matter with M. Ross? What's the matter, M. Ross? Excuse me. This is the Coal Mine exclusive. So it is this really cool looking, like bubblegum looking wax there. It also came with a lyric sheet that was signed. I'm not going to pull that out. It's inside. But if you like that kind of, cosmic-y, Beach Boys-y, psychedelic kind of stuff, this is really, really cool. M. Ross Perkins, he is fantastic. So happy to have that. Next is technically the second album by duo Watch House. This is their album Rituals. I say technically because originally they were known as Mandolin Orange and put out quite a few records, but they've been going under the moniker of Watch House since about 2021 or so. This is a really, really beautiful record. I've only given it a spin and then have listened to, the singles when they came out. Really pretty kind of sky marble vinyl there. But again, the husband and wife duo out of North Carolina. Great harmonies, soft music, mandolin, fiddle, that kind of stuff. But it's not, it's not bluegrass. Just really, really cool production on this. I just think it's a really, really pretty record. So Rituals by Watch House, I recommend it a lot. One of my favorite groups, The Head and the Heart, with their much anticipated album Aperture. This is from, I think, about maybe a month ago. It's been out. Again, very, very cool limited vinyl there. And I will say, I will show this one because I got the store exclusive, so it came with some goodies in the inside. The biggest of which is this cool print signed by the whole band. Again, Head and the Heart out of Seattle, Washington. Big hit was Rivers and Roads, which has been used in a lot of different like rom-coms, and you've probably heard it like in a graduation video. It also came with this big poster. I'm not going to pull it out. It's absolutely massive. But they self-produced this record, recording it, I think, partly in Richmond, Virginia, where 2 of the members live. And just a really, really pretty record. Again, if you like that kind of indie singer-songwriter kind of stuff, some pop elements to it. It's really, really solid. Just really, really good songwriting. I know that the band is calling it, their best since their first record. it kind of goes back to those basics after having had a few records that lean more into the pop production. Check out the song Arrow, and then the song Time with My Sins. Really, really cool stuff. So check those songs out and you might dig this. Aperture. And then lastly, in terms of the vinyl new records, this is a reissue from Bluesville, which is an associate of Craft Recordings. This is Today by Mississippi John Hurt. Now, I am not a blues guy. I get kind of bored with the blues. I just, it's not for me. But this is being really hyped up in my news feed, and listening to the song. I mean, I knew some of these songs. I knew, the song Payday, the opening track, which I first heard from one of my favorite groups, the Wood Brothers. And then the song Make Me a Pallet on Your Floor. I knew that one. But this thing is just one of the best sounding records in my collection. It is sturdy. Karina is on here. Just beautifully done by Bluesville. I was able to get, this was on sale for like a special like one day thing. But super, super sturdy vinyl. It kind of came with, the inner sleeve, the rice paper inner. And if you like that finger picking blues, kind of stuff, it's, more folky than anything. I think they kind of call it country blues, but I really, really dug this a lot. I've listened to it a few times and have nothing but good things to say about it. So check this out if you want good, like folky, finger picking, solo acoustic kind of stuff. Mississippi John Hurt Today. Now, let me jump into I've got 4 CDs here. 2 of which I already showed. I grabbed the CD of Rituals just because I'm a completist with those, and then Aperture by Head and Heart. And as you can see, I've opened neither one as of now. This was actually originally left out of my order, and I had to contact them, and they sent it to me. It wasn't in the original order, but and then I have Aperture because I have all the other stuff on CD, and I have to have the complete collection. It was my birthday last month in May, and my parents gave me this CD. This is Jim and Jesse, 'Tis Sweet to Be Remembered. Bluegrass duo Jim and Jesse McReynolds. Great, there's harmonies that you would expect in bluegrass with the guitar and mandolin, but there's some great stuff on here. Again, the 'Tis Sweet to Be Remembered, Tennessee, Standing at the End of the World, of My World, Grin Barrett, Mississippi Moon, She's Running Wild. Just really, really good. And I did get to see actually Jesse McReynolds in his mid 80s or early 80s at that time. He opened for Old Crow Medicine Show, and that was a really cool experience. I think at the time he was the one of the oldest living Grand Ole Opry members still alive. So very, very cool, Jim and Jesse. And then I picked one of the missing Wood Brothers records that I did not have. This is Loaded, an early one by the Wood Brothers from 2008. You would know the song Loaded. I got loaded, excuse me. Los Lobos did a version of it and had a fairly moderate hit with it. But check that song out. Check out the song Postcards from Hell. That's a big live staple of the Wood Brothers. And then they also do a version of Buckets of Rain by Bob Dylan on here, which is really, really cool. So happy to have that to fill in a much needed Wood Brothers gap. Next, I'm going to run through these. These are just 4 random records that I grabbed throughout the month. This I got as like an Amazon glitch. Sometimes Amazon has these glitches where a record is like 70% off. This is a double record that I've been wanting now for the last year. This is Duets by Glenn Campbell, the Ghost on the Canvas sessions. And Ghost on the Canvas was a record that Glenn Campbell was working on when it was discovered that he had Alzheimer's. And so it was a lot of, just really well done songs, well done production. And this is essentially, they're duets with people that respect Glenn and this and that. And I mainly got it. Obviously, I love Glenn Campbell. I'm a big Glenn Campbell fan. But I got it because Brian Wilson is on here. He does the song Strong. And then a couple other people that I love. Elton John is on here doing the song I'm Not Gonna Miss You with Glenn Campbell, which was written about him not missing people when he has Alzheimer's. Carole King is on here. Sting is on here. Eric Clapton, Brian Setzer. So there's some really, really good stuff. But it was a double record. I got it for like $11 on Amazon. So I'm very happy to finally have that record. This was another one that I've been wanting. It's been sitting in my Amazon cart now for a couple months. This is White City, a novel by Pete Townsend. This is one of his solo 80s records. No really major hits on here. He does have David Gilmour playing guitar on here. Also Pino Palladino on bass, who would end up taking over for John Entwistle in The Who after Entwistle passed away in 2002, I believe. But yeah, I mean it's a Pete Townsend record. It's got some great vocals from Pete, and I really enjoy this. So White City, a novel, Pete Townsend. This is the Half Speed Master from Abbey Road. I picked this up. Also, I got to see the Wood Brothers last month. This is Always Smiling by Oliver Wood, the lead singer of the Wood Brothers. This is his first of 2 solo records. I had it on CD, did not have it on vinyl. There's Oliver right there, and found this online, so I wanted to have that on vinyl. I know I talked about that before. And then lastly, from just random records, I bought this through Discogs as a recommendation from Mike over at MGK Boston, doing one of his Friday Cheers videos. He was talking about this record, and I'd never heard of it because I'm not a huge fan of this guy, not because I don't like him, just because I've never really known where to get started. This is Hank Wilson's Back, Volume 1. Now, if you don't know who this is Leon Russell, the piano player, guitarist, bass player, whatever you want to call him, member of the Wrecking Crew. This is a country covers album that he did under the moniker of Hank Wilson. And Mike was talking about it in his video, and I did some spot checking on it online, and I really liked it. He does stuff like Uncle Pen, Battle of New Orleans, Rolling in My Sweet Baby's Arms. There's Leon right there. But some great country players on here. He's also got J.J. Cale is playing guitar all over this record. So if you like J.J. Cale, you might want to pick this up too. But yeah, check out the song Uncle Pen. He does the Hank Williams song Jambalaya. She Thinks I Still Care, I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry. Lost Highway by Hank Williams. Goodnight Irene, the Lead Belly song. Just really good stuff on Shelter Records. So thanks, Mike, for the recommendation with that. Very happy to have it. All right, and let me just run through these. I went to Charlottesville, Virginia over the weekend, and they have a couple of great record stores. 2 of my favorites, Plan 9 Music, which also has a Richmond, Virginia location, and then Melody Supreme, which I also absolutely love. It's operated by this French gentleman who has just great taste in his music. He had a box of sealed Miles Davis Mo-Fis that I was drooling over. It's just some really great gems. So let me show you the records that I picked up in both of those. The first stack are from Plan 9. This was a record I've been looking for a while. This is the Dillards Live. Paid $4 for it. The Dillards, you would know them from the Andy Griffith Show as the Darlin' Boys. They had some really big strides in putting bluegrass into the mainstream in the 60s. Unfortunately now, the funny part is this is the only Dillard that's still alive, Rodney. Doug Dillard, you would know, he did a lot of work with Gene Clark from the Byrds and the Byrds themselves. They were big. They opened for Elton John at Dodger Stadium. But good stuff on here. There is a Time, which you would know from Andy Griffith. Walking Down the Line, a Bob Dylan tune. Pretty Polly. Just really good bluegrass playing and singing. So I'm very happy to have the Dillards Live. I've been looking for that for a while. I kind of went hog wild on a few Herb Alpert records from the his classic period, and I found out later on that they were records that were owned by one of the guys working at the store. He just sold them. But this is The Lonely Bull, and these are all very clean records. This one is still in shrink. The Lonely Bull, Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass. I just love those sounds, those 60s kind of, those 60s sounds. The Lonely Bull was a big hit. He does a version of Limbo Rock. So there you go. I haven't listened to these yet. Herb Alpert, the Tijuana Brass, Going Places, very popular album cover there. He does I'm Getting Sentimental Over You. There was a hit. Spanish Flea, Walk Don't Run, and the Angels Sing. Zorba the Greek was also a big hit. So another Herb Alpert. Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass, What Now, My Love. This has the song If I Were a Rich Man from Fiddler on the Roof. It was a very good year. Yeah, again, these are all just so clean. This is on A&M, so this at this point he's on his own label. All these are on A&M, excuse me. So it stands for Alpert and Moss. Yeah, very, very cool. This is The Beat of the Brass, Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass. This has Thanks for the Memory on it, Monday, Monday. This Guy's in Love with You, which is one of those songs that Herb actually sings, was a big hit, written by, I believe, Burt Bacharach. And yeah, just great horn, instrumental kind of music. I love it. It's very summery. And then the last of the Herb Alperts, The Brass Are Coming. Great cover there of them kind of on one of those Hollywood film stages. I wonder if that was used in any like Western movie or anything. Great packaging here. They do Moon River on here. Yeah, I don't know if that's Anna Go to Him that the Beatles covered, but yeah. And then lastly, from Plan 9, I picked up Almost Blue by Elvis Costello. This is what they call his country album. And I'm seeing Elvis in October, so I'm really trying to familiarize myself with some of his early records. He does some great country songs. Why Don't You Love Me Like You Used to Do? Great tune. Hot Burrito Number 1 from the Flying Burrito Brothers. Tonight the Bottle Let Me Down. A Good Year for the Roses. So, yeah, very, very happy from 1981. Almost Blue. And then that will be a nice segue into what I got at Melody Supreme. Again, great store. I picked up Trust by Elvis. This is from the same year, 1981. I just listened to this. I think the single off of here was Clubland. So happy to have that. Barnstorm by Joe Walsh. I picked this up because my buddy Glenn Kellaway from the Basement is always talking about this record. Says it's a great record. The production is very good, atmospheric, and one that I needed to get. So very acoustic based, flows kind of from song to song. Really, really cool. I dug it a lot. Then I picked this up, which I did a video on this record not too long ago in my Listen to This series, and this is Kindling by Gene Parsons. Now, I left the sticker on there because this is his debut. Again, Gene Parsons, he was in the Byrds, the later period of the Byrds, and then he was Flying Burrito Brothers. He's worked with a lot of people. But this is an original white label promo, and very cool because the other copy of this record that I got was from Melody Supreme. So the fact that he had two of them was really cool. And he actually was like, didn't you get this last time? And I was like, yeah, but you know, man, we collect records, and I needed a white label promo because I fell in love with this record. So if it's one that you see, don't sleep on it. It's an affordable one, but it is very good if you like, just really good kind of country rock music. So Kindling by Gene Parsons. I got Sweets from a Stranger by Squeeze. This has the song Black Coffee in Bed. That's really the main reason I got it. I didn't know any of the others by name. I didn't really own any Squeeze records, but I do love Squeeze a lot, so happy to have that one. And then, let's see, I think lastly, and then I've got a few dollar finds that I picked up. Dave Clark 5, Weekend in London, featuring Come Home. They do a version of Little Bitty Pretty One, Blue Suede Shoes. Yeah, I love Dave Clark 5. I've got Glad All Over, so I was happy to pick this up. I'm really getting into wanting to collect these like kind of just straight ahead 60s pop rock groups. I get in a mood and I just want to listen to so many of them. They're usually very short, between 28 and 32 minutes or something like that. So happy to have that. Again, haven't listened to that yet. And then I got some great deals on some dollar records. Some of the, I've logged these in the Discogs, and some of them were really good deals. I got a holiday celebration. Peter, Paul, and Mary. Those that know me know I love Christmas music, and this is a PBS special that was filmed. This is a promotional copy, so I'm happy to have that. As you can see, white label there. Once more, Charlie Bird's Bossa Nova. Dollar is very clean. Again, I've never listened to this ever. I have no idea what it's going to be like. The cover is pretty beat up, but it was $1, and the vinyl looked really good. Netherlands by Dan Fogelberg. This is pretty much mint. Just a tiny bit of ringware at the top there. But again, Dan Fogelberg, great singer-songwriter from the 70s. And I don't know that I know any of these tunes, but I kind of know what to expect with Fogelberg from 1970s. I picked up a copy of For Every Man by Jackson Browne. I had a copy of this, but the bottom of my cover is torn pretty bad, so I'm going to do a mix and match, because this is not on the Warner Brothers label the Asylum label that I like. So I'll have to do some playing around with that one, but I got it for $1, very clean. I picked up George Gershwin Plays Rhapsody in Blue with An American in Paris. Again, I love those tunes, and this is also a demonstration copy, not for sale. Actually, I haven't even looked at the vinyl. Is this a white label? It is not a white label, but yeah, American in Paris. Those were songs that were big for Brian Wilson and his formative years. So if it's good enough for Brian, it's good enough for me. Last two, and then I'm done. This is the self-titled by the Youngbloods. I got it for $1. Again, it's got the song "Get Together" on it. Big hippie anthem. Very happy to get this. I believe it's an original. And I believe this is mono. Yeah, I believe this one was mono. But yeah, happy to have this one. Look at those guys. And then lastly, also the Youngbloods. I got Earth Music in stereo. This is an original. This showed up on Discogs as a $20 record, which I was surprised, but it's in good shape. Again, I don't know the songs on here, but happy to have this, the second by the Youngbloods. So there you go. I've got a ton of stuff. Comment below what you think. I was very happy with these records, and I've been doing work on them the last couple of days, cleaning them and logging them into Discogs and listening to them. So let me know what you think in the comments below. In the meantime, y'all be good, take care, and we'll see you next month for new finds, but there'll be some other stuff in between. So see you then. Bye now.